Welcome back to the Whole Reffin' Show. This is Jamie Tucker, your host, with my co-host.
Hey, Julia Tucker here. Glad to be here.
Guys, I know it's been a little bit since we've
Yes.
been on, a couple weeks, something like that. We just want to say we're glad to be back, and we're ready to roll this episode. So before we get started with the episode itself, we always like to talk about Cowboy Revolution Apparel Company, cowboyrevolution.com. Listen, when you go there, it supports the military. Go there and get something off the site. They got hats, hoodies, t-shirts. I believe they even got water bottles. It's a bunch of
Yes.
stuff to go look at on there.
Yeah, go check it out. Some cool stuff.
Save 15% when you check out, though. Do not forget about the code. Promo code is JamieT123.
All right.
So don't forget about that. We also got David Protein.
Yes.
Remember about their protein bars. 28 grams of protein per bar. Now listen, it would take you 3 to 4 boiled eggs to get that. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to carry boiled eggs around in my pocket.
The price of eggs nowadays.
That too.
Yeah, a dozen is now $7.99 at your local grocery.
That's right. So put that in consideration as
Yes.
well.
Much more or less expensive.
And it doesn't smell as bad carrying around eggs all day.
All right.
And it's davidprotein.com. They got several different flavors to choose from. Cake batter,
That's a good one.
chocolate chip, peanut butter, all that good stuff. But go there at davidprotein.com/JamieT and get you some savings today.
Yeah, cheaper than eggs.
That's right. Keep that in mind. Well, like I said, it's been a couple weeks. For us personally, just the regular. I don't think anything's exciting happened in the last couple weeks. Not that I can recall.
No, it snowed a little.
It did. Oh yeah, we did get some snow, but nothing to really go yay about.
The
Around
14 inches turned into 1.
Yeah, around these parts, you don't get a lot of snow. I mean, you do, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't get
Yes.
nothing that keeps you sidelined or a couple feet or nothing like that. So,
Yeah.
but that
Ready for spring now.
yeah, absolutely. It's been so cold. Even today it was
Yeah.
cold. It was like 19 degrees this morning. We went out early,
We
and
got some bagels.
whew, my goodness, was it cold. I'm ready for some warm weather, for sure. So the last couple of weeks, they did some releases with the WWE. Before we get on topic of it, or whatever,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about this week. They did some releases, and here's the thing. Normally this,
Is it that time of year?
normally it's WrestleMania, after WrestleMania.
Or is that April?
They normally will start releases because that's just what happens.
Like before?
No, after.
After. Okay. So have a big show.
I call it spring cleaning,
Okay.
But here's the thing, guys. Regardless of why any of us get released in this business, whether it's a good reason or a crappy reason or no reason at all.
Well, I'd rather have a crappy reason than no reason.
Right, I'm just saying it happens, is what I'm saying.
You should know.
So, yes, I do. And I look at it like we've all took the tumbles and falls. Some of these releases are still from very young people that can still get another shot somewhere else, or maybe even down the road again at the same company. Who knows?
Right.
The business is funky like that. But some of the releases, I believe they could have held on to a couple of them.
Who's that you thinking? Who are you most shocked to hear about?
Well, I believe they've been. I'm not sure because I keep up with pro wrestling still, but I don't keep up with the WWE product as much as I should have probably. Like I watch more AEW and I catch TNA, and then I'll tell you the truth is, me, I watch a lot of old wrestling.
Right.
I'm stuck in the 80s and 90s because
You love the reruns.
I do. I love. It's mainly the guys I grew up watching. Like Flair, Lawler, guys like that. It's really cool time, and I love their. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, moving forward real quick about this, the Good Brothers and Mike Orange feels the same way.
Hey, Mike Orange.
Yes. Hi, Mike.
Hey.
He actually called me one day because he heard about it that day and he called me. He says, "You won't believe what happened," and he starts going on about it. But he loves the Good Brothers, Carl
actually have their
Anderson
t-shirt
and
on right now.
Luke Gallows. I do have it on.
Talking of that.
Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Yeah, I got the Good Brothers shirt. Me and Mike's got the same one, but I got mine on today. I bet you don't. But anyway, he was kind of upset, and because he loves these guys. But I told him, I'm like, dude, they'll probably just go to AEW. Now hold on,
Okay.
TNA.
Mm-hmm.
But I said more than likely, I could see them going back to Japan, where they were real popular, and make a lot of serious dough in Japan. So.
Hell yeah.
Either way, I said they'd probably resurface. But the release talks that I wanted to say was some of the fans are this is really a shame that this guy blah blah got released. Well, here's the thing. It happens all the time. It happens every year. You say the same thing every year. You all get bent out of shape. All the fans go on social media, on X, Twitter, whatever it's called now, Facebook, Instagram, complain and bitch about who fired who lost their job. And they even complain week to week. Who should get this push? Who should not get this push? Just watch wrestling and enjoy it.
All right.
I've said that before, probably.
Everybody wants to be a commentary.
Well, I don't know if it's...
Okay. Opinionated?
Everybody, I think, has got to the point where
there's a platform
social
to put it on,
mediums,
though, yeah.
social media has made it where everybody not only can state their opinion, but they state their opinion in a way where they all think it's facts.
Okay.
And opinion is opinion, and an opinion is the same. Listen, we all got a butthole,
Oh my god.
and we all got an opinion. It's the analogy there. Yeah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yes.
But it's the truth.
It is the truth.
Oh
my god.
But anyway, some of these guys will resurface. Some may not. But the thing is, releases happen all the time. And pro wrestling, pro football, whatever, we just got to get over it. People lose their jobs everyday life every day as well.
Yeah, they do.
So we just got to, you just got to look at it like, hey, this happened to this person, but it happens to a lot of people. And that business has happened to me several times and then you either get a dumb excuse or you get no answers half the time. It's just, that's the way it is, right? So on that note,
okay,
we will get off of that.
Well, who were you shocked by? Anybody?
Me personally, no release shocks me because the way the business is. No release shocks me.
That's the answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It is 100% my answer because I know how it works and I've seen it.
Yeah.
And, now, if they would release Roman Reigns tomorrow, yes, I'd be shocked. But
see, why is he logged?
That's not going to happen. So
why? Because
he's a major player right now.
Okay,
that's
puts
all.
You on a different level.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
I could go in more in depth on why certain guys keep jobs and certain ones don't, but that's where I'm going to leave it at.
Well, speaking of that,
to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. So on our last podcast, we touched a little bit on TNA. And then I was thinking, let's just go back and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit about that episode, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I want to know more, because I was just thinking about it.
Okay.
Into your release again.
Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And how you found out.
Yeah, I vividly remember it.
Okay, I'm sure. And then you mentioned that you were just walking and you walked by and you overheard this group of people.
Yep.
And they were wanting Brian Hebner's phone number.
Yep. And they were talking to Earl about it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So I just want to, did you say last time who it was, who was in that group?
I may have.
And
I may not.
Yeah, I'm sure that I could imagine that feeling.
Okay. So you want to know if I recall who any of the people in that group was?
Yes.
Okay. So like I said last time, I do remember saying this.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know who said it, who asked for it initially.
You just heard it?
I heard it.
Okay.
I do know...
Because I know when I see a bunch of people in a group talking, my ears get really good. I might not look like it, but
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Well, like I said, I heard clear as day. What is Brian's number to Earl? And
Just his dad.
yep.
Okay.
And
Just you don't know.
yeah, right. And basically in that group, I will be honest. One was Terry Taylor,
Okay.
and then God, I wish my mind could I'm trying to picture this. It's like you know how they do in criminal shows. You close your eyes and you try to think.
You need
back?
to meditate a minute.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm gonna close my eyes. Hold on. We'll go back and see if I can.
Do I need some hypnotism here?
I'll-
Hypnotize you?
Hold on.
Okay, close your eyes.
I want to say it was Terry Taylor
Feel the warm breeze
and
blowing through your hair.
and
The Orlando
a
sun.
couple of the other agents or something, but no one's face or mind comes to head.
So pretty important people.
Yeah.
I would say.
So here's the
Okay.
thing, and I know you're.
I don't know, just thinking about it.
I know you're probably trying to get into the who do I actually think asked that question? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It has crossed my
Well, that
mind.
don't make sense though, because
Mhm.
wouldn't his dad have his phone number?
No. His dad does have his phone number. Now that's
Okay.
not what I'm saying. I'm
I'm
saying you're trying to
confused.
get to the bottom line here.
Yeah.
Who in that group asked
him for it.
Earl
Okay.
for the number? Yes.
Okay.
And I believe what I want to say, I don't believe it was Terry, but he was standing there with them.
Okay.
But then once again, it may have not been up to him 100%. But here's my thing on the whole situation. Okay, in that group, it doesn't matter who asked it. It matters that it actually was happening, and no one. And here's the kind of person I am. I would have liked to have known ahead of time, but in this business, everything, and you know it,
Mm-hmm.
is thrown on you.
Yeah.
Bam, thrown on you. You don't get no heads up. If they're going to release you or need you to do something, or last minute, hey, we need you to go out this weekend to work this loop. You know, it's everything.
Right.
Wrestling's always been that way. It's the last second thing, and you have no time to react to things, right?
Why is that their business plan? You want?
I don't know.
Excuses.
Well, I think the part with getting you to, like, let's say they got a loop coming up and they had their referee scheduled, but one can't make it because of family emergency and they need one more to go, and they call you. It's kind of like, you want this, so
Right.
you're going to do that. Now with not telling people ahead of time they're going to get released, I don't know if it's because they don't think you'll go out there and perform correctly or what.
They know you're going to be pissed.
Yeah, I would.
It's just human nature.
And here's another thing: that when they give you your releases, you never get a release to your face. It's always over the phone or something in that nature. So yeah. But like I was saying, but I'm gonna tell you a person, especially in something like that I really loved.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you'd give me a heads up. Hey, listen, you're probably gonna be leaving here shortly, and I just wanted to give you a heads up, face to face, that that's what's going down. And me, being the guy that I am, I'd be pissed, but I would prepare myself for leaving. It wouldn't be just, oh God, I lost my job, something I really wanted to do. I needed the money, whatever the case may be. I gotta go replan this shit off the top of my
Think
head.
they shock you, then you just have time to think about it.
I guess. Now, going off subject here from the TNA question there.
Mm-hmm.
When the WCW release happened,
It's even worse.
it was really shocking. But once again, you got that phone call, and a few days later, the FedEx comes to confirm it, and you're gone.
Thanks, FedEx.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks
FedEx.
for the confirmation.
And the funny story about that, I remember back, it's been 25 years or better. I don't know, something like that. But when that release came, I remember the guy coming to the door, the FedEx guy, and he finally said, "I noticed you get a lot of stuff from the wrestling company." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, are you a promoter or something? I go, no,
No.
I'm one of the referees.
I
I knew it was my release,
Now's the perfect timing, right?
but I thought to myself, you delivered these on a weekly basis, booking sheets and
For
everything,
over you.
and then finally you asked me on the day that I'm not got a job. So I
Ugh,
thought that was weird too.
timing is everything.
But anyway, I don't know who else was standing in that group on the top of my head, but I knew there was at least two other people when they asked Earl for Brian's number, and I just kept walking. But I walked up right on it
Ooh, he should have backed.
and kept walking,
You're like,
and I was like,
Mm. Yeah.
that was my answer. Yeah, to myself.
Yeah.
And then obviously, a few weeks later, I ultimately get a phone call, and we already talked about that before. But that's all I can tell you about it because my memory is there with it, but it's been so long. I just can't. People's always standing around backstage anyway, so
Right.
many groups are standing near each other. It's hard to remember everybody standing back there, but I do remember him standing there with Earl, and
Oh, so you were outside. I don't know why I thought you were outside.
we were outside under the
Okay, we were outside.
at Universal Studios
Okay.
between the sound stages.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
could feel the warm Orlando breeze through your hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Florida's pretty nice most of the time.
Till it's not.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I can. That's the only extra insight I can give you on that matter. To be honest. But no, I was not happy. But I kept it to myself because I still had a job at this point.
Right.
It was
You were
weeks
probably
later.
hoping- Yeah.
But was I getting paranoid? Yes.
Of course. Who
Yes.
wouldn't?
Yes. Because somebody's got to go.
Oh,
It was just me. So.
boo. Well, also at that time, you've been talking a lot about Russo,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And he was in WCW when you were there, right?
And TNA. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
he was in TNA with you as well. Yeah.
So, he was,
Okay.
and there was a lot of influences from WCW.
So his group and the other group.
The influence wise, like the way the product was written. In other words, you could see a little bit of the influence of his writing on the TNA show.
Okay.
But I will say that it wasn't so overwhelming that it diluted the product. Does that make sense? Like a lot of the WCW stuff moved so quick on their TV back when he was there. It would just seem like a lot of the stuff was moving so fast on it, one segment to another, no really in between to give you enough time to register everything in your head as a person watching. That WCW's product was kind of diluted at times. I think TNA when he was there, and I will say this, it's probably why Cornette was working with him. I know it's hard to believe because they hate each other. Because Cornette hates him. But they are working together and with other people in the writing team like Dutch
Right.
Mantel and whoever else you could think of at the time. I can't think of many more names right now off the top of my head. But anyway, so I think that balanced it because you had Cornette with his type of style, and he's,
Right.
I hate the term old school because pro wrestling's either good or bad in my opinion.
Is that his style?
But yeah, I'll say that. And then you got Russo with the more of the, hey, let's move it quick, bam, 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 crash like television, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I will say this about both guys in TNA because, like in WCW, it's been so long ago, and the only interaction I had with Russo there was walking down past the hallway or when I sat in the meetings. We never really had any dialogue there.
Right.
At TNA, both guys, I could get along with Cornette. I can get along with Russo, but me, as long as you ain't messing with
Yeah.
me, I'm gonna get along with you anyway,
Right.
unless you've done me wrong, and then obviously I'm gonna have back and forth, whatever. But I think the difference with the TV writing, with Russo being at both places, when we talk about the TV itself, I think with TNA he had more people there trying to help him balance his. He balances theirs, and the TV product in TNA, in my opinion, was really good at the time. That was one of their best years during the time frame when I went in 2009. That was one of their best years, and then 2010, a year later, of course, when everything started changing, that's when I found out about the job loss and all that.
So when the Hogan came in. And all
Yeah,
that?
Hogan, Bischoff, and that regime. But people can, when you sit back and think about it, you can sit there and blame. Uh, you can blame Russo for WCW's demise, right? You can blame Bischoff for WCW's demise.
Mm-hmm.
You can blame Bischoff and Hogan for killing TNA. You can blame Russo for a little bit of that. We can all make up different types of scenarios here.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the big person that takes care of these companies, regardless if any of these people that I just mentioned
Mm-hmm.
were doing things they shouldn't have done or looked dumb or whatever,
It should have been talked to, right?
they should have been, I guess we can use the term red flagged.
Right.
But when Turner was a big corporation, they had a lot of people to answer there, whoever helped do stuff there. Now, TNA was not. You're looking at Dixie Carter, and you could primarily, at that point in time, rest a lot of the problems on her shoulders.
What did she actually help write, or she just was there and
okay.
everybody did stuff for her? Did she have any input in anything?
I'm sure she had input. I don't know. I never went to a production meeting for TNA, like I said last time. So I don't know if she sat in on them with them or not. Right. I have no idea. The only thing I did there is they give me a sheet. Earl would come out with it because Earl was the
you said that, yeah.
And they'd be like, "Here, this is the matches that we're doing tonight." And if it was already made out, he'd tell me what I had, or he'd be like, "Hey, we'll get with this later and let you know what you got." Mm-hmm. But that was it in TNA. Now WCW was a different matter. I'd sit in, and when I first went there, Russo was in on the meetings when I first went there, I believe. Okay. He had a short time because here's the story with him in WCW real quick. He came in October, leaving WWF, right?
Right.
He ends because Eric Bischoff was fired in September from WCW and let go from his duties as president. Mm-hmm. Now, Russo didn't come in as the president of the company. He came in as just the head writer or whatnot. He didn't have the big position like Bischoff did. But anyway, he comes in October, a month later, or September, somewhere in there. Because the reason I know when he got his job, I was sitting in Nashville, Tennessee, or actually Lebanon, Tennessee, at the Armory, and the Harris brothers, one of the Harris brothers, is working these shows, and Bert's like, and the Harris brother was talking about, Bischoff just got fired. This is like September. I think it was September 9th of 1999 or something. And then
a weird date. Okay.
Yeah. And then next thing I know, they were like talking at either that show or another show that Russo's coming in the right, and they acted enthusiastic, and it was a great thing. So, and like I said before, I've never really crapped on Russo as a human being or as his writing skills. That's a big position to have. If I was in that predicament, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to get criticized. We all would. Doesn't matter who we are.
I know, but you wonder if they just write what they want, or do they throw ideas off other people?
Well, they
say, is this a good idea?
What I was going to get at.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Or is it just, I'm going to write this and this is what we're going to do?
Right. So, I believe when he came in, everybody was so gung-ho for him to come in that it came to the point it was like, he's coming from the WWF. He was one of their head writers. This is great for us. Mm-hmm. And so he had so much behind him coming in. Everybody was excited that didn't know him, right?
Right. Yeah.
So they thought everything he come in would be gold. But the truth of the matter of fact, and here's the couple reasons why everything wasn't gold. And the main reason is, and anybody can discount this all day long, but in my personal opinion, the main reason a lot of the products suffered really maybe not have been. Now listen, maybe it wasn't his ideas, right?
Right.
Maybe it is because you're in a different company that the fans expected something different. Not the
Yeah.
same writing they had on the other TV show. That's why they watched WCW.
I wonder why they picked him and thought he would be able to change it up like that.
I think WCW has already started their funk, as we call it,
Okay.
their downward end.
Like, I'm just like wondering why they didn't just pick somebody new.
Well,
Like, was there another option? Surely.
there's always options.
Like, give somebody else a chance. Like, I don't understand how things.
I get it.
It's like there's two people, and it's got to be this person or this person.
Right.
Where's all the other people?
You know, in these meetings, like I said, when I first went in, I'm trying to think if he was even in the ones when I first went in, because he had a, like I was trying to explain, he came in September, October, but by December or January, he was relieved of his duties already.
Okay.
And then they had Kevin Sullivan and like a couple others putting this show together.
Like to fill in?
And you know, like a booking committee, I guess.
Okay.
And then Kevin Sullivan was there, running this, and then you know Terry was a head guy there because he got me my job. He's the one who hired me. And then you had agents like Mike Graham and oh geez, I'm trying to think back when I first went in there. Who are all the agents? Arn Anderson, Mike Graham, Nick Patrick.
Okay.
Because I came in, Nick started being an agent, and I went straight. I basically took Nick's spot in a way, if you look at it that way. But you know, we had a couple other agents, but my mind's kind of foggy on remembering everything all at once. But what I was trying to get at with the Russo thing, though, you know, and then he comes back, and then when he comes back, they bring Bischoff back to help him. I think was the deal, and they want them together. But once again, you got two guys there that are going to clash. Right. So different theories. I'm not saying it couldn't have worked, but I don't know. I just think you really can't sit here and blame one or two different people of the downfall of anything. Right. It takes many of people.
It does.
Yeah. And I just think a lot of it had to do with the company that owned WCW, which was Turner, and AOL, Time Warner, and all that. At that point, didn't want pro wrestling. It was the ultimate fall down. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day for them. TNA has been rehashed a dozen times, it seems like, and different owners. They never went out of business. But they're apparently doing really well right now with houses. Houses are up. Good. People are enjoying their product again. Yeah, and I think the whole thing. Now here, the thing is, you can't blame. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say it, and it might bring. I don't know if it brings controversy or not, but Russo's had his finger pointed at him.
At who?
Russo had the fingers pointed at him.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say.
Excuse me.
For so long about, hey, you helped kill WCW. I don't believe that one bit. I believe it took many of people.
Yeah, it's never just one person.
And in his defense, he really wasn't bad to be around as a person. He would, you know, and he when he wrote the television, you know, I just think some of it was too much for the Turner executives to take. And the fan base of WCW wanted WCW. They didn't want a WWF type product.
Right.
And he had only a couple ideas during the time I was there that I disagreed with. Everything else is just like, well, you know, your story lines here, you're thinking you're doing what's best. And then at the time, maybe he was.
Right.
Because, you know, like I said before, I was happy to be there and making the money I was making and just having a job. You know that. And at the time, I would have took up for our product over anything WWF did.
Of course, you should when you work for a company.
But that's right. When I worked for that wrestling company, I'm a company guy. Yeah. Because I love pro wrestling. But I think what I'm trying to get at real quick is you cannot point one finger at him for any demise of TNA. Because when he was in TNA, that was some of their best product time, some of their best ratings was on Spike and that channel there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the next group that come in
Mm.
that it started making bad decisions and
Mm.
things started happening. More money was being spent than it should have.
And let you go.
That's right. They let me go. That was a dumb idea too.
Look
Yeah.
at those little.
And the 6-sided ring was taken away.
Yeah, it should have kept that.
That was
Yes.
the centerpiece
Because
of.
even when you go back and watch it, it looks
good.
Looks good.
Yeah. Watched it on
It's
Pluto
different,
the other
yeah.
night. Mike had texted me and said, "You're on Pluto TV right now," and I knew what he was talking about. It was the TNA channel,
Yeah.
and we turned over there, and Lord behold, there I was.
There you are.
Yeah. But anyway, you
It
know,
looked good, yeah.
but to answer that to what you asked,
Yeah.
he was there at both times. The second time, I had more of a, I guess you can say, a rapport.
Mm-hmm.
I had more of a talking with him.
Right.
Instead of just walking down the halls like in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an angle that was going to be shot, and I don't know how we got there, but you know, I used to room with Earl Hebner, and we were, whether it be house show loops or in Orlando, and we were there at the hotel that night, and he's like, he said they're talking about having you side with the younger guys and do an angle, and being I was like the new ref in the door, I guess, there compared to the rest of them, and turned me to just ref for their matches. You know, like they're winning all their matches because of me and blah blah blah. You know, like sort of like a heel ref, I guess. And Earl's like, if they ask you to do it, he said, do it. He said, because after the Montreal screw job I did, everybody remembers me. They'll never forget that. He said, so if you do this angle, they'll never forget you.